Welcome back to DIY with KB. My name is Kiva and I teach people how to achieve the luxe look for less. We've all seen the 2021 design trends videos. We're all freaking out because our style isn't right, but the modern farmhouse is here to stay. So how do we achieve that? Don't worry, because today's video is how to shop from Modern Farmhouse at IKEA. IKEA is everyone's favorite affordable store, and we're going to achieve that modern farmhouse look for less. Before we get into today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And if you want me to design your home, click the link in my description box for my virtual design sessions. Now let's get into today's video. So, what is a modern farmhouse? Now I know you're thinking Joanna Gaines, but that's not what we're doing. We like some of her elements. We like the wood tones, the rustic element. We like a little bit of plaid, but we're not doing any farmhouse signs. We're not doing any farmer's market signs. We do not live in a farmer's market. So we're taking those rustic elements and we're contrasting them with black and clean lines and a nice light and airy look. That's what we're achieving today, and we can do it all from IKEA. Now I don't think Joanna Gaines has ever been into IKEA, but I have been, so I'm your guide for today. Let's get into today's video. Now, let's start with the bed. So, like I just mentioned, in the modern farmhouse, we love the shiplap. We love the wood. So, the number one bed that I'm gonna recommend is the hemness bed. It has really nice clean lines and it looks like it's made of wood. You still have the clean lines, you have the wood finish. I would probably go with it in a white because, again, modern farmhouse has a lot of the light and airy, and I really like it because it has panels in the exposed parts, and it has not only a headboard but also a footboard. So that's a little bit more rustic. This is a really great option. It's super affordable, and I've had this one. It's pretty easy to put together, which for IKEA is a feat. The other bed I want to recommend is the Hauga bed from IKEA. So this is one of their upholstered beds. It's relatively new, at least in the United States, and I love this because the slipcover is gray, and it's a light gray. It's very nice and neutral, so you can jazz it up with just about anything. You can do all white bedding with nice fluffy pillows. You can do plaid if that's your jam, because we love plaid in a modern farmhouse. So this bed, it just is a little bit softer than the hemness because it does have that fabric headboard. So it's really easy to dress up, and the color is really nice and neutral. So you can bring any of the colors that appear throughout your house in with this bed, and because it's neutral, again, you can match it with the wood tones. Sometimes you don't want too much wood in a modern farmhouse because we do want that modern element. The fabric brings that modern element, and it's going to provide a really nice contrast. And I also love the shape of this bed. It has some curves in it. It's not just like a straight box little fabric upholstered sort of situation. So it adds a new shape. You know, I love seeing different shapes. Let's just call this geometry class. I love that. So this, again, is a really good bed for the modern farmhouse and pretty much any other design style. So a lot of people aren't into the matchy-matchy, but let's talk about dressers. So the first dresser I'm gonna talk about is the hemness dresser. It does go with the hemness bed. I love it in the white. It has knobs instead of pulls, which is super farmhouse. You have the new shape with that nice rectangular wooden frame, but you can switch out the knobs on this if you want to, and I really feel confident that you could pair this with the hemness bed. Farmhouse, you can do a little bit more matchy-matchy than the modern and stuff like that. That's totally okay. A lot of people are saying that you can't get a bedroom set. Do what you want. If you want a bedroom set, let's get this bedroom set. If you don't like this, if this is a little bit too blah for you, if it's a little bit too farmhouse and not modern farmhouse, let's talk about the IKEA Mom. The Mom is the dresser that everyone knows and loves. I think it looks like dressers from a lot of high-end stores. I said what I said, I don't regret it. And it's really affordably priced. It's only $179. It is horrible to put together, so when you go out and buy it, don't DM me complaining about how hard it was. I told you how hard it was, but it's a really good dresser. And I also found that this dresser actually comes in a birch veneer or oak veneer, whatever. It looks like wood. It has that nice earthy tone to it. So that is perfect for a modern farmhouse because you're bringing in that light colored wood from the earth into the bedroom to contrast with whatever other wood tones you have in that space. Wood is all over your modern farmhouse. Wood, 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 wood. It looks super modern at the same time because you don't want everything to look rustic. If you want everything to look rustic, don't go to IKEA, let's go to Kirkland's. Let's go there instead. Last reason why I love this Mom is that because it's so sleek, you have that wood tone, but you can use this as a dresser and as a sideboard. You can put that under your television and it really frame out that space in your bedroom really affordably. You're not gonna have to buy two pieces. Now let's talk coffee tables. Now you guys are gonna try and blow me off on this one, and it's gonna be a mistake. The coffee table I want to recommend is the Lac coffee table. You're like, Kiva, isn't the side table $5? Yes. But the coffee table is $50, so we just put a 0 there. Still super affordable, and I don't want you to get the black Lac, of course. We don't need that. But they have one, again, in the wood veneer color. So we have the really nice light tones, and it is dual layer. Dual layer coffee tables are so expensive. They're normally like $1,000. Like if you have like a mansion, like obviously don't buy this because it's gonna look like a stool, but it's a really good size for an average size home, and it has the dual layers of storage so you can style the top and put all your junk on the bottom and no one has to know. This is a really great option, and for the price you can't beat it. And since there are only there's only the top and the bottom and legs, it should take you like 15 minutes to put together, which is amazing. If you want something that looks a little bit more like real wood, you want something that not everyone has, let's talk the Lister Bee. So I've never seen this one before. When I found the name, I said Listerine. It's the Lister Bee, and it comes in a round and a rectangular shape, which is phenomenal. So if you have a sectional, you have a lot of rectangular furniture, let's get the round. If you have furniture, you know, you have accent chairs and a sofa, then we can do the rectangular. It doesn't really matter, but I love this because it has the top and then it has wooden slats on the bottom. It looks just like one of the actual Studio McGee coffee tables from Target, but it is a fraction of the price. Given the size of this Lister Bee, I would only really recommend it if you do have a little bit of a smaller space because it's not gonna make as huge of an impact, but you can style this with coffee table books, vases, the God Tag Bar vase, that's the one I want you to use, with really anything else. And again, it provides the really nice wood tone. I'd pair this with a white sofa, a light gray sofa, a blue sofa. You could do it with any of the traditional farmhouse colors. I wouldn't necessarily do this with a leather because I think there'd be a clash, but for the price of $129.99, I think you just really can't beat it. The next category is bookcases. So we love bookcases, we love to read, and it's okay. I'm not gonna judge you if you want the bookcases just to style some decor. It's okay. I forgive you. We're all human. So IKEA has tons of bookcases. Everyone has the Billy bookcase, but we're gonna break from the mold today and we're gonna talk about the Leotorp. So I love the Leotorp because it has the paneling in there. If you love a farmhouse, that means you normally love shiplap, and shiplap is expensive. So you want that shiplappy look without having to actually buy a shiplap. This Leotorp bookcase is gonna give you that because it has the panels, and it has like, I don't know how to say like farmhousey edges, but that's what I mean, so we're just gonna go with it. But I love this. It has an open portion and a closed portion, which is really nice. So you can have a party on top and business on the bottom, and nobody has to know. And I think the price is really reasonable at $3.99. I think that's a great price for a bookcase. What I always say with IKEA, you're like, $3.99 at IKEA? Okay, this would cost you $1,000 at Pottery Barn, Crate and Barrel. You might say the quality, okay, we're talking about balling on a budget, so that's what we're doing today. The next cabinet I want to talk about, or bookshelf, is a little bit more affordable. It is the Hauga bookshelf. It's $149, and it looks very similar to the Leotorp. It does have the open top portion and the closed bottom portion, but it doesn't have the framing on the top and the bottom like the Leotorp, but it is a fraction of the price. What I really like about this, again, it has the knobs. You can switch them out if you want, but I like the separate little look because you can actually use bookshelves like this to get that built-in look without building anything into your home. It actually presents a really unique opportunity with the open top to have a big vase over top or a piece of artwork or something like that. Next, we're moving on to chandeliers. You're like, chandeliers? Chandeliers? Yes, IKEA has chandeliers, but let's talk about the Felsisk. So this is brand new to IKEA, and if you haven't seen this in Pottery Barn, it means you've never been in Pottery Barn because this is all over the store. They vomited all over the store. This is a nice cage chandelier, and it's giving everything to me for $100. It's the nice cage look. You have the nice little candles in there. It is quintessential farmhouse, quintessential modern farmhouse, and it is no money at all. $100 is amazing. Yeah, you have to hardwire it, but like that's okay. One of the other things about IKEA is you get to take these things home the same day. Sometimes you don't have to order them if you have an IKEA nearby. So this is, I mean, you're not gonna beat the price. Something like this is still gonna be $200, $250 on Amazon or Wayfair. It only comes in the black, but I think black is phenomenal. When you have a modern farmhouse, you also wanna add a little bit more metal because you do have metal in a farmhouse, but metal is also really common in a modern home. So this is a great way to introduce that. And I think black is a really good color to complement with all the wood tones because it makes it a little bit more harsh. You want that in a modern home. That's why my whole house is black and white. We love the really stark color contrast, and this chandelier is going to help you accomplish that. Now, I have absolutely no clue how to pronounce this next one, so I apologize. Chandelier is $79.99, and this one is so good. This one is so good. It could work in so many different styles. It has like the three like sort of dome sort of situations, and it forms on, why am I doing all this? You guys can see, but that's how excited I am about it. It gives off a really nice yellow light, and it's really low to the table. This is great for our dining room table, which is exactly how they've styled it at IKEA. It looks really nice and modern and farmhousey at the same time. It's just like the Felsisk in terms of how it introduces the metal and the black. You're not gonna go wrong with this, and I just love that it has a huge curve in it. I think it introduces a new shape. It's a little bit less boxy than the Felsisk, so if you're leaning more towards the modern and less towards the farmhouse, I'm definitely going to recommend this one. Just when you're getting this, make sure to measure your dining table. You want them to look proportional to one another. You know, in my last video, the things that make your homes look cheap, we do not want a lamp that looks too small for a space. It's a huge mistake. Just don't put one there if that's what you're gonna do. Now that we've talked about chandeliers, let's talk about floor lighting. We're talking about lights I've never talked about before. First, we're gonna talk about the Louters, because it is a tripod lamp. It is $55. It not only comes in like this birch color, but it also comes in black. And you see tripod lamps in every farmhouse ever, so that's why it's gonna work in a modern farmhouse. But I like the tripod look, especially in the black, because it lends itself a little bit to the industrial, which again, a really nice juxtaposition. It's super affordable, super easy to put together, and it's like a sculpture in itself. I know you're like, sculpture in IKEA. It looks like a sculpture because it's interesting to look at. Farmhouse does not have to be boring. Modern is all about having a really minimal space, but really interesting things to look at, and I think the Louters really achieves this. The Housekeep floor lamp, which is $79.99, is a little bit more traditional farmhouse, but I love that it has a little swing arm situation. They have these at Pottery Barn as well. They're way more expensive. I love the swing arm. It comes with like a gray, lampshade. Sorry, I forgot the name. I get so excited I forget names all the time. It comes with a gray lampshade. I don't love that. I might switch it out for like an off-white sort of situation. And you could do a different shape, lampshade, to modernize it a little bit, but the swing arm is super modern. And again, it makes it a little bit more interesting, and it is an ode to the modern, because you see these swing arm lamps, Restoration Hardware, CB2, Crate and Barrel, all of the modern stores. So let's take advantage of that from IKEA on a budget. Next, we are talking accent chairs. So accent chairs are everything, and they're really expensive. A good accent chair normally costs you around $500, and I just like don't sit in any chairs enough to warrant $500. I just can't do it. So that's why this Tulsa chair is such a good option. It is $149 in the beige, and if you're gonna get it, I only want you to get the beige. So I love this chair because it has a really nice barrel back. You see that in literally every luxury catalog ever. Barrel back chairs are in, so let's lean into that trend because it's here to stay, at least for the next few years, so good for us. The price is phenomenal, and again, it adds a nice curved shape to an otherwise very clean line and rectangular home. And I said get the beige, not the gray, because the gray really comes off actually as blue-gray to me, which I don't really love because blue-gray is just like a little bit too Scandi for me. So by Scandi, I mean Scandinavian, and that's what IKEA is all for, so like it makes sense that they have that color, but that just isn't gonna work in our farmhouse. Again, you can use tons of websites where they actually make covers for IKEA furniture if you don't like them. And actually Lone Fox just did this amazing DIY where he took this chair and he turned it into boucle chair, or one that just has like the really nice fun fabric on it. So you could do something like that with this chair. It's so affordable that you can upcycle it in any way and still get something really amazing. Our lob chair is everything to me. It is absolutely everything to me. I need it. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I guess I'll just like set it in my garage and call it a day. But the Farlob chair is $3.99, and it's nice and fluffy and welcoming, and it's slip covered. It gives me Leanne Ford Crate and Barrel vibes. It does because it looks just like her collection, but they did a phenomenal job with this one. It is $3.99. Again, expensive for IKEA, not expensive in the grand scheme of things, and it is a pure white. And finding a pure white at IKEA is hard to do because they're like, oh, I made this chair rainbow. Do you want to buy it? No, I do not want to buy that. But this chair, they did a phenomenal job. It just looks like really nice and fluffy and welcoming, and that's what a farmhouse is. You want people to want to come and sit down and relax in your home and put their feet up, and I can definitely see your family doing that in this chair. Not only do I love the Farloft chair, but I love the Farloft sofa. The Farloft sofa is $8.99 and it comes in so many different colors. Again, the really nice slip covered look. It's really nice and light and airy, which is what you want for a sofa in a farmhouse. It's modern because it does have the clean lines in the back, but on the sides we have the slope arm. We're like, we're relaxed. We're not too anal or anything like that. So I really love this chair. It pairs well with the Farloft accent chair. So I feel like you could buy this series and kind of make it a set and call it a day. I feel like in the Modern Farmhouse you can get away with a little bit more having a set of furniture as opposed to unique pieces because it's not modern. It's okay if things match a little bit more. Again, really nice and fluffy and light and airy. It's going to brighten up any room, which is what you want, again, in the Modern Farmhouse, and you can't beat the price. Now, I have not ever actually sat on it. It gets good enough reviews on IKEA. I mean, when something gets good reviews on IKEA, I believe them, right? Because nothing gets a good review on IKEA. So if something gets good reviews, I think it's worth exploring. This is a great sofa if you're working with a tighter budget. If you don't want to go with the Farloft, the Harlanda sofa is a really good option. It kind of reminds me of that show, The Big Comfy Couch. That's kind of what it looks like. It's, again, really nice and fluffy looking. It has really curved arms. It's definitely more traditional. And it's a good piece. It would work if your style transitioned, which I also really love. It would work in a bohemian home or something like that. I don't think it would work really well in a strict modern house, but it's really nice and fluffy and airy. It comes in different sizes, and this one has tons of storage. So the sectional is like $12.29 or something like that, and the chase or the chaise, however you want to say it, it does lift up for storage. So that's really good. If you're dealing with a small space or you just have like a ton of stuff, you can just put it all on the sofa and you don't have to pay for another piece of like storage furniture. So that also goes into the price. It's really nice and cute. This would look great covered in throw pillows. This is one of those sofas where like more is more, and we love that for us. I wouldn't necessarily go overboard with the Farloft. It's more of like a clean sort of situation. So if you want something even more welcoming for your family, you want to sit down and have a movie night, I think this one is the one to go for. The next category is rugs. Is it a farmhouse if there isn't a jute rug? I think not. So let's talk about the Low Halls rug. Again, one of the items on the IKEA website that gets really overwhelmingly good reviews. It's a basic jute rug. You really can't go wrong with it. I will say that jute kind of hurts my feet a little bit, so maybe put on some slippers, but it has the nice earth tones and it has some texture. I would probably put this in a living room or a dining room. This is not a bedroom rug. Who wants their feet to hurt in the morning? But it's super cute. It's a good price, and honestly, I would get this one over a different jute rug because I can walk right into IKEA and get it, whereas shipping a jute rug actually can be expensive because the fiber that it's made out of, jute, can be really heavy. So that is something about that one, but you could do this with like a beige rug underneath. Farmhouse, Modern Farmhouse is all about like the layering of texture and rugs. So you could get away with this rug because the pile isn't too thick. So I really like that. This Deseret rug is brand new to IKEA. It's at $199. It's a little bit steep for the size, but it has tassels on it. I love tassels. They introduce a new texture and they're just like fun. Like, does the dog want to eat them? Yes, but they're really fun to look at. It softens up the space a little bit, and there's a pattern going on, but the pattern doesn't introduce a new color, which I like. Modern, simple is what we want. So farmhouse, we have some texture, but we got to balance it out because we're doing the modern. So we want a little bit of pattern, but we don't want a new color or too much texture. So this just has some lines going through it. It actually looks a lot like some of the Restoration Hardware rugs. I really love this option. It is kind of like a taupey brown color. So I would only pair this probably with light furniture because I don't want the room to look too drab. But this is such a good find. It's such a good IKEA find, and it really looks super soft. Obviously, I've never touched it because it's brand new, but it looks soft, and that's worth something. You want your home to feel nice and cozy, especially in a modern farmhouse, and I think this rug can help you achieve that. The next category is the dining table. Who doesn't need a dining table? Everyone needs a dining table because we must eat. Eating is important, and we want a nice homey place to do that. And dining tables can be so expensive. If you've been with me for a while, you know I had the dining table saga, and it made me very upset. So this one is a phenomenal option. This is the Inga Torp round dining table, and this is the quintessential Pottery Barn dupe. It has really nice intricate legs and the really nice round top. It is extendable, so if you're having some guests over, you can still sit at the dining table. No one has to stand awkwardly at the kitchen island. It comes in black and white, and I believe gray. I love the black contrast with some white chairs or vice versa. You're really not gonna wanna go wrong Round tables are so expensive, so the price on this one is like really nothing in comparison. This table is $349. Most tables this size and this shape are at least $800, so you really can't beat the price. It looks like it would be horrible to put together though, so I wish you the best of luck if you do buy it, but it's really cute, it's fun to look at, it's totally farmhouse. So if you are in a modern farmhouse, we can you know, create some contrast with some more modern looking chairs, or we can just like go all in, do this table with a jute rug and some nice wooden chairs and just like call yourself farmhouse, and that's it. As I've continued to say, I think when you're dealing with a modern farmhouse, I think it's really good to establish some contrast with the wooden tones with some black. So this Nordviken table, which is 92 inches long and is from IKEA, is phenomenal. I really like this because it has panels in it. The paneling is really typical in a farmhouse, and it's black and it has some intricate leg stuff going on. I mean, you can't beat the price, and the size is amazing. I bought a dining table once that was 92 inches and the price was like upwards of $2,000. So this one is $499. And you're getting a massive table for virtually no money in comparison. And these get pretty good reviews. IKEA dining tables across the board actually tend to get pretty good reviews. A dining table is a dining table. If you're actually going to use it, I'm not going to encourage you to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it, because if someone leaves their cup on there, or if they accidentally kick the feet, it's over for you and you're going to be upset, and we don't want to have any problems with that. I know so far I've only given you 2 options per category, but I fell in love with this one. This is the Mockleby table. It is in that nice little oak or birch color, and it is so farmhousey. It has like the cross legs. You can see the wood grain in it. Oh, this is such a good option. It's such a good option. I can't believe I've never seen it before. It looks straight out of Pottery Barn and Pier 1 and Kirkland's, all of the stores. It looks just like that for a fraction of the price. This Mockleby table is $629.99, very steep for IKEA, but a very good look. It gets good reviews, and again, it's also 92 inches, so it can accommodate a ton of people. So you also have to factor that into the price of a dining table. If you want a table that seats 10 people, you're gonna have to pay for a table that seats 10 people. But this is a really nice integration of some wood tones. It's not too orangey. That can happen a lot when you're looking for a wooden table. It has orange undertones, and those are really hard to combat. So I love this table. I was like, should I buy this? I do not live in a modern farmhouse. I tell you, when I make these videos, I get too excited. I want to change my whole house, but you buy it instead, please. Now that we have our dining tables, let's talk about our dining chairs. So dining chairs are an opportunity to go modern if we're in the modern farmhouse. We don't want to overdo the farmhousey, you know, because then let's get rid of the modern. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it a farmhouse. Let's get our farmer's market sign and our buckets and our statues of like pigs or animals or whatever, and just like commit. So we're doing the modern farmhouse. We need the modern dining chairs. These Henriksdal dining chairs are $95, and the white slipcover is so luxe. This is on my list of luxury looking items from IKEA. This Henriksdal slipcover chair, it is so nice. It would pair really well with that, I cannot remember the name of the sofa, but that really nice slope arm sofa that I was talking about. It is just like really nice color combo. Again, it comes in white, which is rare for IKEA, and the slip-covered look is really nice and feminine, nice and airy, and I love that they're slip-covered because when someone eventually gets their scuffed shoe marks on them, you can just throw them in the washing machine, or you can spot clean them really easily, and it's only $95 for both the chair and the slipcover. The slipcover itself at some places can be $100. The next dining chair is just a basic slatted dining chair that is black. Again, we like the black in the modern farmhouse. It is the Nora Reed chair. It is $75, and it's just really cute. I mean, cute is the best adjective I can come up with. It's cute. It has some clean lines, but it also has some interesting shapes in it. It's nice and slatted, which again is really common in a farmhouse look, and it's black. They are kind of low, which I don't always love. What I would do with these dining chairs, that I'd have these on the sides of the dining table, and then I'd have some different header chairs. That's really common in a farmhouse too, kind of switching up the chairs. Mismatched chairs are really in right now. I think it works best in a modern farmhouse, so I would do that with these chairs. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. This is your guide to how to shop for a modern farmhouse at IKEA. We covered beds, lighting, dressers, bookshelves, the whole 9 yards. If you want another video on the other modern farmhouse items you can get from IKEA, let me know down in the comments, and trust me, I'm gonna make this a series. Let me know your style down below so I can tell you how to shop at IKEA. It can be such an overwhelming store, but I believe that you can do any style that you want from that store. So let's make our homes beautiful on a budget. If you like today's video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And if you want me to design your home, click the link in my description box for my virtual design sessions. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and until next time, have a beautiful day.